The MLB trade deadline is only a few days away, and rumors are swirling left and right. And I'm going to be giving you 5 pitchers who are guaranteed to be traded and their destinations in this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and hit that like button down below. Let's get right into it. The first pitcher I will be talking about is Casey Mize of the Detroit Tigers, and I think he is destined to be an Atlanta Brave. The Braves need pitching help right now, and they need a number 2 starter behind Chris Sale in a playoff series. They cannot rely on Spencer Schwellenbach to be the pitcher he once was, and Spencer Strider has also been pretty bad since coming back from injury. The Braves are leading the NL East. They're looking to win the World Series, and they want to dethrone the Dodgers. I think Casey Mize, who has been great the past 2 years to the Tigers and is on an expiring deal, may be able to get him at a cheaper cost, being an expiring deal, and he'll be perfect fit behind Chris Sale. Casey Mize has just been scratched from his last start, so all signs are pointing to him being traded at the trade deadline coming up, and he has been rocking a 2.7 ERA this season and 0.99 whip, so he has been absolutely great when he's on the field. Only questions for him is his health issues throughout his career, but if the Atlanta Braves can get him at his healthiest, I believe he will be a great piece behind Chris Sale in that rotation and help the Braves go on a playoff run in the upcoming October series. The next pitcher I'll be talking about is one I really want to see, because I want to see this team buy, because if they get into the playoffs, they are dangerous with their pitching. It's Luke Weaver from the Mets going to the Pirates. The Mets are about to have an absolute fire sale, and Luke Weaver should be one of the best relievers on the market that teams are itching to get at. The Pirates are right outside the playoff race, but they're right in it. A couple games out of the wild card. Their pitching has been amazing, starting pitching that is, but their bullpen has been one of the worst in the league, and they are itching for a back-end bullpen guy to help lock down these games in the late innings. Going from after Paul Skeens, Braxton Ashcraft, Jared Jones, Mitch Keller, all the above, this rotation is elite, and they just got to get it to a bullpen arm who is also elite. Luke Weaver has been absolutely amazing for the Mets this year. He's had a 1.88 ERA in 43 innings this year, which is absolutely elite for a reliever. He would instantly jump into the closer role in Pittsburgh, and the Pirates should get him, and they should buy, because with this pitching staff and this offense, who has been one of the best in the league, anything is possible for the Pirates, and they need to get these fans happy and make the playoffs. But for the Mets end, Luke Weaver should get them a great return. Since he's not an expiring deal, he has a year after this. It will add to his value, and he's been absolutely amazing. But I do believe he will be traded, because the Mets need anything they can right now. And I think the Pirates are the perfect suitor for Luke Weaver, because their bullpen has been terrible, and they're still winning games. If they can get a lockdown reliever in that bullpen, they'll even just win more games, and they'll be destined to make the playoffs and maybe go on a run with that pitching staff. Who knows? Please, Ben Cherington, do it for the city of Pittsburgh, man. They deserve it. And just go after and be aggressive and buy. Get Luke Weaver in that bullpen. They need it. They can't rely on Gregory Soto, Mason Montgomery anymore. These are not elite closers. They need someone who they can rely on in that bullpen and finish them games, because they have one of the best pitching rotations in the league, and they need to add up to that. The next pitcher we'll be talking about, again from the Mets, is Freddie Peralta, and I think he is destined to be a Chicago Cub. The Cubs' rotation has been absolutely derailed by injuries. I'm talking Justin Steele. They just DFA'd Tyone. Cade Horton's out for the year. They need someone who can anchor that rotation, give them innings, and have a playoff spot in that rotation. Freddie Peralta, even though he has not been the greatest this year, he's rocking a 4.99 ERA in 22 starts, but he has the track record, man. Outside of this year, he's been elite for the Brewers, and the Cubs know that. They faced him in the playoffs last year, and how sweet it would be for them to get Freddie Peralta, the old Brewer, and match up against the Brewers in the playoffs and take them down after getting defeated last year. Freddie Peralta, he's been an absolute disappointment this year, and the Mets need anything they can get from him as he's expiring contract, and he's very unlikely to re-sign with the Mets, probably a 0% chance, so getting any capital they can in return would be great. Just like Casey Mize, Freddie Peralta has been scratched from his next start, so he's basically destined to be traded, guaranteed to be traded, and I think the Cubs are going to go after him, going to buy hard at this deadline because they're top wild card team right now. They're basically locked to make the playoffs, and their rotation has been great. Matthew Boyd, Shota Imanaga are not people you want to rely on in a playoff run if you want to make the World Series and to throw in a team like the Dodgers. They need Freddie Peralta, who's shown in the past he can show up in the big moments, pitch in the playoffs like he has for the Brewers. And I think the Mets would be stupid not to trade him, and I think the Cubs would be stupid not to go after him, as he's a rental. He's going to go for cheaper, but it came out that the Mets want at least a top 100 prospect for him. The Cubs have that. They also have young, controllable players like a Matt Shaw. Maybe they could throw in a trade for Freddie Peralta. Who knows? But I think the Cubs and the Mets will come to a deal for Freddie Peralta to go to Chicago and help the Cubs in their playoff push and help anchor that rotation, which they absolutely need. Next, another Mets pitcher. I'm sorry, this is the last one, but the Mets are absolute fire sale right now, as many will know. The worst team in baseball, basically. But I have Clay Holmes going to the Chicago White Sox. Clay Holmes has been great this year since being a starter, rocking a 2.39 ERA in 10 starts, give it. But he's coming off the injured list, and it's not like an arm injury or elbow injury or anything of that. It's kind of a freak injury. He hurt his ankle. So it's something that you're not going to have too much of a concern of. In the White Sox, they needed a pitcher as well, like all these teams do. He would instantly be in the playoff rotation, be in the top 3 with Davis Martin and Sean Burke. Clay Holmes, he's pitched in the playoffs for the Yankees out of the bullpen, though. But the White Sox need another guy they can depend on in the playoffs. You don't want Eric Fetty, Noah Schultz. He's very young. He'd probably be better in the bullpen in the playoffs. Probably show some more stuff for them. But I think Clay Holmes would be a perfect fit with the White Sox as they are surprisingly leading the AL Central. Who knows when this is going to happen again for them. So they need to buy into this. The American League is so weak. It's really anyone's game. It's a toss-up. Whoever buys the hardest at the deadline between maybe the Yankees, the Rays, the Red Sox, and the White Sox will probably have the best chance to make it out of the American League and go to the World Series. And imagine telling a White Sox fan in the offseason that you could potentially make the World Series this year. You'd call me crazy. Or win the division this year. You'd be crazy. Then we're the worst team in baseball 2 years ago. Worst team in history. But they have a chance to make their fans happy, get back into the playoffs, and have a legitimate shot. This offense is great. They need more starting pitching. That's where Clay Holmes, who is going to be a great pitcher to limit home runs in the playoffs. Home runs win playoff games. He's a sinker baller. He gets a lot of ground balls. And it's going to work well in Chicago and help the White Sox get back to the playoffs for the first time in 2021 and help them win a series for the first time in a long time. The final pitcher we have, it's Tarek Skubal. I'm sorry, Detroit Tigers fans. But Skubal's time's coming to an end. And you guys have to get something back from him. He's not resigning, even though I think the Tigers should pony up, give him what he wants. He's been the face of your franchise since he's been there. 2-time Cy Young, absolute dominant pitcher in the playoffs, in the regular season. He gets it done when it matters most. But we basically saw his last start the other day. Jeff Passan just said is basically a guarantee he's getting traded, and I'm not predicting him to go to the Dodgers because I'm just not doing that. They'll ruin baseball. The Dodgers would probably be minus odds to win the World Series if they aren't even right now. But I want the Brewers throw their balls on the table. Let's get Tarek Skubal in Milwaukee. Go for that push. Like CC Sabathia in 2008. Go for that push. Try to dethrone the Dodgers. Brewers have never won a World Series. Why not this year? They've been one of the most consistent teams for the past 5 years. It's time to go all in. Get that ace. Get that ace who can anchor this playoff run. Him and Miz in a 1-2 punch in the playoffs. That's 2 guaranteed wins almost in every series. Nobody wants to face that. The Brewers have a chance to do something that will make the city of Milwaukee go crazy and maybe bring a potential World Series to Milwaukee for the first time ever. And the Brewers, it's not like they're going to destroy their farm system if they make this deal. No. They have one of the best farm systems in history right now. They can make this trade and still have about 3 to 4 top 100 prospects, still have the best prospect in baseball, Jesus Mate. They already said they're not going to throw him into a trade for Skubal. But I think the Brewers throw a bunch of prospects at the Tigers, make them say no. Make them say no. Make them accept that deal and get the best pitcher in baseball to Milwaukee to help go on a playoff run. The Brewers aren't going to re-sign him. Just put him into the ground. Why not in that playoff run? They don't care about what he is next season because he's leaving. He's probably going to go to the Dodgers, but the Brewers have a chance to go all in, put all their chips in the middle, and get Tarek Skubal. That's going to do it for this video. I'm coming out with the 5 hitters who will be guaranteed to be traded at the trade deadline in the next coming days before the deadline. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment down below what your thoughts are and who you want your favorite team to get at the trade deadline. Peace.